Saturday afternoon, kind of late. We've been at a little tiny car show this morning. So we're back. We're going to try to get something done on this truck. We've worked on it a few nights this week. Got the emergency brakes installed. And a few other things. I forgot what exactly. But I think today we'll take some pulleys off. We need to paint them. We need to paint that power steering pump. Little Miss can work on that. I need to run one more wire from the back to the front. And then button up everything with zip ties and clamps and so forth. And then maybe we'll find something. Well, now it's Sunday after church. And I didn't get very far yesterday because I had to drop what I was doing and take Little Miss to the emergency room. She slipped and fell and thought she broke her jaw in the kitchen of all places. But turns out she's just fine, and so I've got another bill to pay, and I guess I'll work on this truck. I did get the wiring for the compressors finished in the back, and I need to do some more on the front here. And we'll see what I get into. Alright, we've done a little cobbling here. I'm using an extra lawnmower solenoid to work this thing. This wire is ground through the pressure switch on the air tank. And this wire supplies power to that side of the solenoid from the switch. And that goes to the compressors. So if everything works correctly, and I got a jumper wire from here to power the panel, I should be able to hit that switch and have the compressors come on. And by the looks of that light, my battery's kind of weak. Let's see if it'll run it long enough to kick them off. Well, I didn't get my light and camera ready in time, but it just kicked off. So, evidently it works. If I had a tire pressure gauge handy, I could see how much air is in the tank. You can see that there. I robbed that junction box off from a 80s Chevy truck up on the firewall. You can find lots of stuff at the junkyard that comes in handy. I hear a little leak somewhere here. Doggone it. Anyway, I'll have to find that. Well, I just checked it. Around 112 or something like that. PSI. So that's good. So, if everything, you say you kicked that wire off but you hooked it back up?
Yeah.
Same way it was?
Yeah.
So we should be able to drain a little air here. Working. And nothing's hot. And it kicked off. You know what that is?
No.
A success. So we're going to have to dance a jig here after I turn the camera off. You want to start?
Not really.
Oh. Alright, I found that little leak right there and got it stopped. I'm impressed with how quick those compressors air up my little bitty tank. Still think I need to add one more tank, but I'll worry about that later. I got plenty of other stuff to do. Right?
How always. There's something always to do.
That's right. Alright, now what I'm going to do next, since it's Sunday and I hate to get too strenuous on Sunday, I'm going to reconfigure this. I'm going to remove this from the carburetor and put it in the manifold, in the intake manifold down there. I don't know if you can see that little plug. Take that plug out, move this down there, and then I'm going to utilize that. That's the PCV valve. I'm going to utilize the port in the carburetor for my brake booster. Should be neat and pretty. Right?
Yeah.
What you doing, pal?
Taking these bolts off.
What you gonna do then?
Take this off and sand it and paint it.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Well, he's doing the heavy lifting. I'm gonna thread this in the back of the carburetor. This is just a little adapter to go from 1/4-inch pipe to 3/8 tube. And then I'll bend up a little steel line here some kind of way to the booster. Before I bend it up though, I'll probably put the distributor in. How you doing there?
Good, I guess.
You got it cleaned up pretty good there in the inside. You know, being a cheapskate is time consuming. I had this points distributor here, which I thought was in pretty good shape, but I checked the vacuum advance canister and it was no good. So I dug around in my stash and found another distributor which had a good one. So I removed it and put it on that one. And that's took me an hour or better. I just heard somebody come in. Oh, we crossed a few things off the list. We've got the emergency brake cables on it. We've got the wires run. Got the air compressors working.
Would you be opposed to me cutting this?
Why you want to cut it?
To make something, of course.
Are you going to utilize the cool handle?
Maybe in something future.
Where in the world did you find that thing?
It was in the back of the 51.
Oh. I guess. Go ahead.
Well, it's got
I wonder
them.
what that thing was. I bet it was something to do with a farm implement.
That was horse-drawn.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't say horse drawn on it anywhere, does it?
Well, no, but, you know.
Well, I got the distributor in, and I found a new cap and rotor in inventory. That's nice. And now I'm going to make this line from right there somewhere so I can hook up the vacuum to the power brakes.
Would you button me?
I guess. There, I whipped up a little 3/8 flare. Looks like it worked out okay. Now if I can just remember to put the nut on before I make my first bend, I'll be good. Mrs. Heavy Chevy just tried out the plasma cutter. Maybe I should have filmed that. It was kind of interesting. She's out there grinding now. When she gets done, I'll tell her she can hammer the slag off. Alright, I got that all bent up and attached. And I think it's in such a manner I can remove the valve cover without fighting it. That there's not ideal. That's for a 7/16 line, but I managed to push the 3/8 line on it. It'll be okay. I need the white one, but I'm sure I got one around here somewhere, but once again, I couldn't find it. Just so you all know, the crisis is over. Mrs. Heavy Chevy has found her welding helmet.
Right where I put it so I'd know where it was at.
Mm-hmm. They say the mine's the first to go.
Yeah, you're telling my age, so.
Well, it's like 8 o'clock and Mama says I gotta quit, so I guess I better. I got that manifold on there and got a pipe angled in the right direction past my air lines there. So that's a good start. I did dig out that manifold, which is angled towards the back. Trouble is, it dead centers the clutch linkage, so that one ain't gonna work. So I'm gonna make this work. I might have to reroute my air lines just slightly. I think it'll be alright. Anyway, it remains to be seen, and we'll see it another day. Thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it.